It all started back on E3 2013. E3 is a day where gamers all around the globe tune in to see what they'll be playing for the next year. I remember that day like it was yesterday. It was the day I became a PlayStation fan. It was a day that made me put down my Xbox 360 for good. It was a day that introduced me to, well, let's just say, an addiction. At the time, I just had an Xbox 360, and I was super excited to see what Microsoft had for next gen. As we all know, Microsoft was lacking that year in one crucial department: the games. Then I tuned into the Sony E3 conference just to see what they had, and they knocked it out the park.
Nope, can't think of anything. This is pretty freaking awesome.
I'm talking game after game after game after game, and all of a sudden they stopped to talk about the PS4, and I was like, I don't care. Because at the time, I didn't have a PS3. Then, all of a sudden, they said they had one more game to show. The screen went black, and Bungie appeared on the screen. The people that made my favorite game series of all time, Halo, I hadn't seen them in years. I remember when I was younger, I used to play Halo religiously. It was all I needed. After a long gameplay trailer, I was instantly hooked on Destiny. The PS4's price was revealed to be $100 less, and my hype went through the roof for the PS4. And yes, I knew Destiny was a multiplat, but I didn't care. That conference had did it for me. Upon completing this game, I was upset. How could the people that made this?
Pete, wait! The Arbiter's with us! Come on now. We've got enough to worry about without you two trying to kill each other.
Were it so easy. We must go. The brutes have our scent.
Then they must love the smell of green.
Make this.
Well fought.
You're here.
We haven't got much time.
Who are you?
Why have you been watching us?
I don't even have time to explain why I don't have time to explain.
I had made a bad decision making this my first PS4 game. At this point, I typically only got games around Christmas, so I was stuck with it. And that is how all the hate turned into love, because I stepped into the PvP for the first time and I heard this sound after killing someone.
enemy can't kill if they're dead.
Eventually, I turned into a monster and I could do stuff like this.
You're in the lead. Gained the lead.
After some time, I saw people come back to that game that I grew to love, and it was around the Taken King expansion that I went all in. I'm talking looking up tips on how to level up, finding out all the metagame for PvP, and much more. In this phase, I was playing the raid weekly, grinding PvP, and eventually it got to the point where everyone around me moved on yet again. However, when the time came for me to do it, I just couldn't do it. This was mostly because of a mode called Trials of Osiris, and if you're familiar with Destiny, it's a competitive, sweaty mode that by the end of my Destiny career, and I'm sure many of you too, were never able to win. After a long time of trying to win trials with different teams and different people, I just stopped caring. This was when I started to play the game less and less, and then eventually the Rise of Iron expansion hit, and it was around this time I only wanted one gun. I wanted the gun, in my opinion, the best gun in Destiny, the Red Death. This gun escaped me for so long, so I began my quest to get it. I would grind the old Skolas mission weekly. I almost gave up on the gun, however, I was blessed with the gun eventually, and the reason I loved it so much was because it felt like the battle rifle from Halo, but with a godlike perk. Every kill I got refilled my health bar. The last piece of the puzzle was a sniper or shotgun, and the goal was simple in my gameplay: tag someone with a grenade, watch them burn, clean their health bar up with the Red Death. Eventually, my health bar would come back and rinse and repeat. In conclusion, Destiny was a flawed game. I'm not here saying it was a good game, it was the best game ever. What Destiny does symbolize for me, however, is the first time I was hyped for a game. The day I became the biggest PlayStation fanboy ever, and hours upon hours of fun moments. Whether it be playing raids with randoms, destroying fools in PvP by myself, or simply just completing a strike with some family members, for a long time that game put a smile on my face. It's still trash though.